crap. They're moving.
Whoa! With no air conditioning.
I know it's pretty.
Thank you for coming. I'm Mary with WJOL. All right, guys. Oh, okay. You're gonna get the tour now.
All right. So there's two parts to Bishop's Hill. Bishop's Hill, some of you might have been over there. It's the winery. It's the brew house. This originally, in the early 1860s, was the malt house. So you needed a lot of area to make malt, and what they did, they pumped it across the street through a tunnel, and we're going to get to see that. They pump it over there where they actually brewed it. So the malt house, brew house, and John will tell you more about that aspect of it. John and I were both in the military, so John is a commander, he's the other. All guys, we were in the military together. And he's our original investor in the project. So this building, again, it was built in the early 1860s. A lot of history to this building. They ran it, numerous breweries had it, and we're going to see the storage rooms. We don't want to call them tunnels, we're calling them storage rooms. But they had storage rooms here, 1860s through the 1930s. Across the street, they closed it in 1908. Another brewery bought this and started brewing. And one of the highlights that we want to show you, if you look at this picture, a bunch of Yankees were whooping it up at a Joliet brewery. So we know they went to a couple of breweries, but this was here. And if you look at it, you see Babe right in the middle. Yeah. Okay. Babe Ruth also threw out the opening pitch at St. Joe's Park. So you knew that. Not everybody knows that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Just some cool history about
Were you there,
that.
John? No, I wasn't there, but I know about it.
A bunch of tunnels down here. They'd fill them up. They could only make beer once a year in the cold because this is pre-refrigeration. So once refrigeration started and Bud Light came along, it changed the whole nature of the beer business. But they literally make the beer in the winter and they'd harvest ice from the rivers and they'd fill up these rooms, the beer barrels full of beer, and fill them up with ice. And they could serve ice cold beer year round. They had the drivers.
He's not dying. Did you guys ever
It was just like they made a lot. Yeah, my dad. I would help my dad with that all the time. And they closed that, I think, in the mid-70s.
I'm not saying I am.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my God, how far down?
I don't know. I'm quitting here. I don't know.
Oh my God, come back!
We lost him.
He's way down there. Who is? Some guy.
Don't let him talk to you.
Well, thank you so much for coming. The rest of the
Oh, yeah.
I don't care. You guys want to? Yeah, how are you?
In 1868, Fred Searing, an entrepreneur in Joliet, decided to get in the beer business. So he bought it, renamed it Fred Searing Brewery. The brewery was right down below here. It's you'll see it. It was torn down, covered up, and we uncovered it. And there's 3 tunnels on this side. You got the other tunnels you saw on the other side, right? So he operated this brewery, and then in 1890s he decided he's a German. Every good German needs a castle on a hill, right? So he contracted with Hugo Bohm, an architect in Joliet. They designed this castle, and the porch. He designed it so the porch represents the moat, and the stairs represent the drawbridge. So you take a couple glasses of wine and step by the street and squint, and you can sort of see it. All right. Now, he moved in 1892. Okay. Unfortunately, Fred died in July of 1892. So his family continued to operate this brewery. Now, the reason they put the brewery here was there's an artesian spring in one of the tunnels down there. That was the water source for the beer. So that's why they put the brewery here. But that spring could only produce enough water for 25,000 barrels. Joliet was consuming far more beer than that. So in the early 1900s, they decided to build a new brewery. They built a new Fred Searing brewery across the river right by St. Joe's Church. There's a big empty lot. That's where they built a new brewery. This one was torn down in 1908, okay? Or shortly thereafter. Now the family continued to operate the brewery till like the 1940s or 1930s. The family lived here till the 1940s, and then they turned it over to the University of St. Francis, okay? The school needed more housing because they didn't have housing there, so they used this as a dormitory for about 3 years. And then after that, the nuns used it as a retreat house or something until 1948. In 1948, Archdiocese of Chicago encompassed this whole area, said, Joliet, we're getting too big, form your own diocese. And so they formed a diocese with Joliet, Will County, DuPage, and a little bit of Kane County. And in December 1948, this became the headquarters for Joliet Diocese. Okay? So in the early 1950s, the Archdiocese of Chicago gifted that building as a rectory. So the bishop lived in there then, and there's a big suite on the second floor, and there's about 4 suites in there where all the priests lived. And this was the offices. In the 1970s, they built that building over there. That was called the Catholic Chancery. All the church offices were located in there, and this still maintained the bishop's office, and there are like 2 other offices in this building until 2013 when they moved up to Crest Hill, and this went up for sale. Now, some of you are looking at these trees, okay? These trees, we have it documented that these trees were from the World's Exposition in 1893, okay?
Wow.
Higginbotham family, he was the president of the World's Exposition. He gifted these 2 ginkgo trees to the Searing family in 1893. So these trees have been around a while. And then also, you notice the blue house next door, okay? And there's a house kitty corner of the street, a green one, and there was one across the street here. Those were each built for a family member. So after this castle was built, they built those houses for the family. They're all connected with tunnels, okay? The tunnel entrance is in our basement, and there's tunnel entrance to each of those houses. So they could walk to each house. Who knows why? They could have just came outside, but you know, in the winter, I guess. So then this area over here, if you look, this is where we uncovered the brewery, and this is going to be our new winery. We have, if you look over there, we have it all built up, and we're just waiting for a roof to put over it. And it's going to be an event space for 175 people. So, it was ground level, so everything else was underground. So we uncovered this all, and then we rebuilt on the footprint the walls, and wall along the street was the original wall that was there, but everything else we didn't really. The tunnel itself was intact. It was just like the tunnels across the street, and except like the
Got a channel down the middle of it.
we put that wood roof over to protect it from the weather, because we had to rebuild like 20 feet of the archway that was collapsed. But everything else was. It goes back to this vent over here that pipe, that's where the tunnel ends. So, and then the other tunnel is to the left. That's the one that has artesian spring in there. Oh wow! Cool. And the water.
Well, look, there's a cat dragged it high.
The Cadillac. That says Cadillac, but that's definitely not the Cadillac.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going before the 1920, whatever this is.
That looks cute on your day,
Looks like a Buick. Is it a Cadillac?
Is that what it says? I don't know my place.
Oh.
Hold on, listen up. You gotta keep coming in. You've already ruined my phone call twice. I told you there's nothing to see here. But you seem like a crowd that's not gonna give up easy. So here's what we're gonna do. I hung up on my best dame. She's not pleased, but I'll get over it. You wanna go ahead and come on in and check out the side, go ahead, but all you're gonna find is a bunch of grease monkeys with chipped up knuckles turning wrenches. Now, if you want to get back on the bus and scram, I would highly encourage it. But if you insist, go ahead and step through this phone booth, but just be warned, danger might await.
Keep trying to come in all the way through and then we'll cut out. You're good, Robert. You're good. So once we get everybody, we'll cut it.
All right.
We got a menu?
Are we all inside? Are we all inside? Are we
Whoever's down here, raise your hand.
All right, Goob. So, real quick, listen up. Listen up, you rummies, because I'm not here to have a good time. I'm here to have a quick time, and we're going to get you out of here just before you even know it. So here's the rules for this part. Number one, you see a lot of great bourbon. Can you have some? I don't know, maybe.
Yes.
You're going to see this now band, Mike Guglielmucci. That's a real Polish name for all of you keeping track at home. A good Polak. All right. Here's the thing. You're going to see Mr. Guglielmucci, and you're going to guess, is it a spade, is it a heart, is it a club? And if you guess the suit right, you can have a special drink. There's plenty of free beer somewhere, and you might even run into a foul-mouthed card dealer and test your luck for a pack of smokes. That's what we got going on tonight. We want you to have a great time, and we do appreciate your patronage. Everything you see here, right here, is everything you got. So enjoy this room. It's going to get hot because it's a very small room. Now, if you're an adventuresome type...
Hold on a second here. We might as well do this while we're all in here, right?
No, we're doing that later. We're getting to the party now. We're doing this. Ask Diane. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. No. These, you know what they look like? They don't need a drink. They need speeches. All right, show of hands. Who wants a drink and who wants a drink?
All right, open the door, you filthy.
I don't even know if there's a door in here. Everybody's silent. Let me figure this out.
What's the code?
I don't even know anymore. When does this open up? How's this open?
Pull it down.
I did pull it down.
Pull it down.
There's food and free beer and water. That way you can stay with Mike for your chance at free cocktails
All
at the bar.
right. Free beer next door, or if you want a bourbon, if you want a man's drink, then you can stay here.
Yeah.
Okay. Men or ladies. Men or ladies.
Honey, we're not going to let you stay for long before we kick you out. So get in here and let's get this party started. What do you say? Let's get this party started. I like you people. All right, listen up. There's a couple rules, and we're not going to play loose with the rules. So a couple of things you guys to understand. You're seeing a fine selection of bourbon. Can you have some? Maybe. All right, I'm going to start over for the late bloomers. Everybody in, raise your hand when you're the last one. All right.
The head janitor at WJOL. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Brian Foster is he's the head Chuckabobo, and this whole 100th anniversary party was wasn't just him, it wasn't just Logan, it was everybody put it together. I just gotta say, man, you guys did it.
Due to some good decisions early in my career, I was able to reach a point where I could go and hide in the office and everybody else did the work and I get to do the speech. So I am eternally grateful to my staff and everybody, and most importantly, you guys for coming to make this a party. I really didn't do much. I just watched as these guys planned one hell of an evening for you. So I hope as it unfolds, we keep the spirit alive, we keep the fun alive. That really is what WJOL has been up to me for 25 years. It's been a passion. It's been the voice of the community. Sometimes it makes you laugh, sometimes it makes you cry. But like radio does, it always makes you feel. So thank you guys for coming out. But I really don't want to say much more than that because I had very little to do with this. It's the staff that just kicked some butt tonight. And enjoy it, have a great time, and then come win some candy cigarettes here in a moment. So with that,
So you guys, where did you come from? What was your first stop? Winery. Okay, so the 3 stops are all historic in Joliet. As I don't know what all you know, but it's just the winery and the catacombs over there, and all of that history is great. And here at Joliet Electric, this building is 98 years old. And Tim, and Josh and the boys, they built this speakeasy, and it's some of my old kid would say, this is pretty badass here. Tim, tell us a little bit about, I know I'm saying you stumbled onto this, but it just started going, and that's how the bar and the speakeasy came about.
Yeah, our previous owners, we wanted to do something prior to our 90th anniversary. So Joliet Electric Motors has been around 90 years as of last March. So we had a big party in April with WJOL, they were on radio here at 5 in the morning. We did the whole thing. So these rooms were empty for 30 plus years. Wow. Just kind of run down. And our previous owners wanted to say, you guys should make a meeting room or do something with these 3 rooms. And they gave us a little bit of a budget. We definitely exceeded that. We had to hide some money around, but we didn't know what we were going to do. And Josh found this bar on Facebook Marketplace. And
I think we need to buy Josh a beer.
And it was kind of labor of love for, I mean, it was 6 months, it took about 4 or 5, 6 months to really do it, but we stumbled upon this bar in Cicero that we thought was for sale. It wasn't for sale, but the guy had built 2 or 3 more of these bars. He came from Poland. The Polish guy came from Poland in the 40s, 50s, fell in love with the 50s and 60s bars. Chicago speakeasy type bars, and he had 4 40-footers and 4 20-footers built, and luckily he still had a 20-footer in the warehouse, and that's how we found the bar, just really by accident. And once the bar was in, once we found the bar, then everything else kind of just took shape from there. With the smoking room and the smoking room kind of, and then the bar, and then the poker room. So.
I think one of the coolest things that they found is this old cash register. I mean, that just tops it off.
Yeah, Josh found that, what, a week before, a couple days before?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Before your 90th open?
Yeah.
So we launched this at our 90th, like, that was the first time anyone had seen it.
When Scott had you guys on.
You were, yeah, so.
Mike.
So, yeah, definitely enjoy.
Institute of Laundry?
Some questions about the building.
Because my mom told me this was the American Institute of Laundry.
Yes, it
She
was.
worked here in high school.
It was built in 29.
Yes.
And it was American Institute of Laundry, I don't know until when. We moved in here,
She worked here like in 53, 54, 55, 56 during high school.
yeah, so we don't know exact date, but we moved in here in 78.
Okay.
We've been in here in 78.
So 78.
Since.
That's when we moved to Joliet Electric.
They built the building, yes, American Institute of Laundry built the building. Okay.
So it's only had 2 owners in its life. American Institute of Laundry and Joliet.
And who's the cat?
So all the techs are, all the business. So them,
Where's my name?
That's good.
Competitions inside or outside? Outside. Oh, give me that shit back.
Here, give me your purse.
So I don't know if you guys can have as
This
much
is the
fun.
better box.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
This is the better grade.
All the beer's gone, all the pizza's gone. Sorry. So
How much fun we're gonna be then?
let's go.
All right, everybody.
Because Scott ate and drank it all.
Yeah, brother.
Don't fall down. Oh my God!
Hey, what?
So basically, a little bit of history on it. It was built in 1895. Go ahead. You read it coming in the door. It took 3 years to construct. It is octagon in shape. If you can actually look around, the beams themselves go all the way up above us in the ceiling top. There's about another 20-foot ceiling on top of that. All the beams then go down. They're buried into the ground. The floor itself, you can kind of see, it's it's theater style, so there's really not a bad seat in the house. But our main focus is always on the organ. The organ itself is still original. It was built in Morris, Illinois. So something that was a nice thing. Yeah. There is about 1,700 pipes and bellows, 2,300 knots on it. There's about 100 feet of pipes behind there, and it still works. So we play it every weekend for the weddings, and when it plays, people stand up. Here comes the bride. So that's a pretty good thing. The pews themselves, you'll see a lot of them around it. It follows the style. They are also original. You'll notice some of them have the numbers. The congregation that was here actually had pews by name sometimes, so they had their own. And then the little holders in front. Anybody guess what those are for?
I'm guessing for umbrellas.
Cigars, umbrellas. How about little communion cups? So communion was always passed in the aisles because this was built as a Unitarian church and then went to Central Presbyterian Church. And then we bought it from Central Press. So any questions on it? I get talking, I get excited.
Did you redo things in here, or?
We did redo things in here. It did not look like this. Did we redo? We do things. So it did. When we bought it, it was a mess. It needed a lot of work. We ended up having our first daughter's wedding in here. So of course she went to my dad and she said, "Papa, can we get new carpeting?" Well, of course, Papa got new carpeting because then we had to empty out every pew. We had to scrub it all down. We had to redo all of them. We had to fix all the beams, paint the ceiling, paint the walls, and she chose the blue behind the organ. So I had all the girls, if I wanted anything, I went to the girls and said, ask Papa for it. Because he put me on the back burner. The windows, aren't they beautiful? You should see when the sun comes in. They're Tiffany style, and they are original. We actually do work on them. We have a gentleman who comes in who is amazing. He goes pane by pane and checks them, solders, and cleans them. So it takes about almost 3 weeks to do all of them. So it would be a good project for you.
I'm pretty pricey.
I know. But you do great work. I'm sorry, next question?
What kind of church is this?
Right now, we bought it. It is a non-denominational setting. We do about 200 ceremonies a year in here. So it's a nice setting where the guests can come in, they get married here, they work their way around to the room next door. That is where cocktail hour is, and then they move down into the ballroom for dinner and dancing. So pretty good logistics. Is that the word I want to use? Yes, ma'am. Hi.
So what is the budget to maintain this facility on an annual basis? Just this building?
A lot of money. It's just not maintaining it, but it's the heat, it's the insurance, it's the roof. It's just everything that goes into it, but I have a budget that I hope to stay with every year. Sometimes depends on what goes on, but it's a pretty high. And then the gathering rooms, actually, they're fellowship hall, and then all the Sunday schools were in there, Sunday school rooms. So they had quite a large attendance. So, yeah.
At the height of the church, how many families would be there?
But we kept everything in there because I don't want to, if ever I have to open it up, I want to use that because it's a history piece.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can you all hear me okay? Yes, no? Yes, no, yes. Can you guys hear me over there? Monica, can you hear? You'll be honest. Can you hear us good? Brian, can you hear okay? We're good? Okay, great. All right, if I could have your attention, please. I know you guys have to stop talking. You stop talking to be able to hear me. Pretty simple. All right, if I could have your attention, can you turn it up louder? That's as loud as it's going to go. So we're going to talk into this thing and talk very, very loud. Anybody else is talking tonight, speak loudly, please. All right, if I could have your attention, please. The bar will stay open. Okay, so the only talking I want to hear for the next 10 minutes is ordering, and that's all. Welcome. Did you guys have fun tonight? What a night, what a night, what a night. It's WJOL's 100th anniversary. I'll try to keep this as brief as possible, but we have some very special people to me that came tonight, some from far, far away, and people that made WJOL what it is today. So, we're going to introduce you to a couple of people. We have to do the usual political stuff first, right? That's the mayor behind there. But no, we need to do that. We respect them, and we cover a lot of stuff that they do. But real quick, we were trying to figure out what we were going to do for this party tonight, and we were going to just have, cut the cake, which we will do, and everything like that. But we're like, we got to do something special, because WJOL just isn't about WJOL. It's about Joliet, and it's about Will County. So it would have been very selfish of us just to do a party about us, and we wouldn't have had 225 people come. Okay. Thank you to the 3 locations that were stops. Joliet Electric Motors and Tim Tibbet with the speakeasy. Way in the back, here he is. And he's thinking about if he can get a liquor license from Mayor Darcy, he's thinking about opening up for good. That would be the busiest bar in Joliet. Thank you to Ron Romero with the Joliet Rock and Roll Museum. Awesome. And I don't think Ron's here. Is Damon Zudich here? Is Damon here anywhere from Bishop's Hill and the Catacombs? Let's hear it for Damon. Awesome. We wanted to find unique places, and I think we found them. So thank you so much, all of you, for coming tonight, and thank you to those 3 locations. But we also really need to thank Suborn Dolphin and everyone here at Jacob Henry Mansion. What a place. And if you want to find out anything more about the history of the church, just ask Sue. She'll take you in there, and you won't get out until next Tuesday. She loves it. Okay, I'm gonna blow through this. I want to honor those who used to work for WJOL Radio tonight, because that's what tonight's about. I invited a bunch of them to come back, and some of them did, and I'm so happy that they did. I'm grinning like a kid because I'm seeing people that I haven't seen in 25 or 30 years. And we have a special guest for you in a moment. But first, the mayor of the city of Joliet, Terry Darcy, would like to welcome you all to tonight's event. Mayor.
Thank you, Scott. Scott always makes it look so easy. I asked him one time, how many words are in a minute? Because I got to give a talk for 10 minutes. He said 120 words. So I'll probably be up here for about 60 words. First of all, pretend this is Jose Cuervo. It should be Jose. I want to propose a toast to the love of Joliet. That's what I feel in this room right here. To Joliet.
Yes.
Here. I always brag about how much heart this city has. And it truly is. I mean, this is a city that is 150,000 small. I've been a client and a customer and a partner of WJOL for 34 years. And it's just the best relationship. It's the longest relationship we've had in our business of anybody in the city. So thank you so much for making us look good that way, Scott. I know that everybody had a really cool trip today, and we're all talking about all the centennials that are going to be happening. WJOL being 100 this year, the Rialto next year 100, Route 66 100, and very important to me, my mother's going to be 100 next year. My mom is still sharp as a tack, and on Sundays I'll drive around the city, and she's like a history book. I didn't realize that she went to school with the Rubens kids that built the Rialto Theater. And they grew up and lived at the Morris Minor Funeral Home over here right behind us. So one of these days, Sue Gulis and I talked about having to drive around the city and really bring back some of the memories none of us know. But I really want to thank WJOL for all they've done for this community for 100 years. There's been so many characters that have continued to keep their tradition and the truth and the genuineness of this city in front of us every morning. Many of us ride to work with Scott in the car with us, obviously. But I just want to thank all of you for coming out today to celebrate the 100 of WJOL, even though they're in Cresthill, Mayor Solomon. little known fact, I guess we're all talking about Joliet. Anyway, thank you all for coming out, and thank Joliet for being the city of love. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you. Speaking of Mayor Solomon, he comes up and he goes, why am I not on the schedule to speak tonight? Let's go, Ray. Come on up. The mayor of Crest Hill, the home of WJOL since 2000, said, I want to follow Mayor Darcy. So here he comes. I have no idea what he's going to say, which scares me a little bit. Ray, go. Be gentle.
I had to bring my toast glass too. So, just to let everybody know.
Louder. What's that? A little closer.
Just to let everybody know that we are here tonight to celebrate the 100th anniversary of WJOL, but we're also here to celebrate 25 years in the city of Crest Hill. Terry Darcy's a great guy. We get along fantastically. He's absolutely right. But I get sick and tired because Slocum wakes me up in the morning. Every morning at 6:30 I get up. And all I hear is the voice of Joliet, the voice of Joliet. So I would like to make a toast. A toast to WJOL, the voice of Joliet. but their home is in the beautiful city of the city of Preston. So here's a toast to another 100 years in the city of Crest Hill. And maybe one day it'll be the voice of Crest Hill. Congratulations.
That was awesome. Thanks, Mayor. We appreciate that. We got to get a hold of our production company, get some new liners made. Let's do that. Natalie Manley is serving tonight as a state representative, the deputy leader, I think is officially her title, but she's also every Friday morning from 9 to 10 with Mary Lancaster. They started off as Lynn, Mary, and Natalie, and the late Lynn Lichtenauer, but now it's Mary and Natalie. So she's got a couple things real quick. We won't read all the whereases, but she's got some things from the House of Representatives and the State Senate.
The whereases were great, by the way. It tells the history, so if you want to look at this, it's pretty fascinating. On behalf of the Illinois House of Representatives and the Illinois State Senate, Representatives Larry Walsh, Natalie Manley, Anthony DeLuca, Dagmara Avilar, Harry Benton, and Senator Meg Capel congratulate you on 100 years. And I just want to say, for we can never remember how many years we've been on. For 22, 23 years, I want you to keep Lynn Lichtenauer close in your hearts tonight because she was the reason we're here. But also, I want to thank Scott for always being that steady voice. When you hear Scott on the radio, we've been through a lot in 20-some years, right? Hearing Scott was always made me feel better. Hearing his voice. He has been the one constant and steady through all these years, so I want to thank you personally and from us, and thank you for not getting rid of Lynn, Mary, and Natalie, because we are awesome. We got him in a lot of trouble a lot of times. He would come, open the door, and say, knock it off. We love you, Scott. Congratulations to everybody who's been around this. It's been a wonderful, wonderful journey.
Awesome. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you. And thanks to the state of Illinois for, we'll just take those right there. Good. All right, I'm going to pop down in the crowd real quick, guys. This isn't about now. WJOL has been around for 100 years. And unfortunately, the people that I started with way back when, the Frank O'Learys of the world, the Tony Rays, you guys remember them, right? Tony, Frank? Frank O'Leary, that's what I used to call him. And then, of course, Don Lattis and I were as close as can be. I know Don's daughter, Sherry, is here tonight. His granddaughter, Abby, works for us. Could you two please both stand up? The boss, Lattis bosses. Awesome people. I got to know the Lattises really well, and they're a second family. I love them to death. But WJOL is about history, and while most of the people that were before me, and I've been there since I got out of college, August 24th, 1988. But WJOL is about history, and we still, and I don't mean this in an odd way, we still have a gentleman that was the voice of Joliet in the morning for almost 20 years, and he's here tonight, which made me so happy that Bill was able to come. I'm going to just make it a little bit easier on him. I'm going to sit down here, not sit down, but I'll lean in. We're going to need that for the cable television. But ladies and gentlemen, William Joseph Christopher Drilling. Can you stand up? You want to stand up? Yeah. Hold on for a second. If you can't, that's okay. All right. Good man. Bill? Yes. Yeah, let's turn around. Let's turn around if you can, because we do have the cameras. I want to thank Dick and Millie Schuster from Channel 6 for filming this tonight. Thank you. So thank you. This will be on television in Joliet. Guys, this here is a legend. He was the best morning man WJOL's ever had. Tell everyone, you were on the air for 18 years, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And how did you come to Joliet? How did you get started?
Well, I worked in Montana and Illinois and North Dakota and Wyoming and Iowa. I was a floater.
You were a floater. All right. Do your introduction, because your introduction's great.
The sponsor will.
The sponsor, which is over there tonight, by the way. But when you came on the air and you introduced yourself, how did you do it?
My name is William Joseph Christopher Drilling.
William Christopher Joseph Drilling. Where'd you come up with the two middle names?
They were my confirmation names. Back when I paid attention to religion, shame on me.
What was the biggest news story you covered when you were in Joliet? You remember?
No.
No? Remember?
I think the biggest news story was the jock who became boss over there at Radio Hill and decided he was going to walk all the way to the west side.
That would have been me, okay.
Yeah. What a stunt.
Yeah, what a stunt. That was a good stunt. What was it about WJOL that kept you there all those years? 18 years as morning show host.
Bill Hansen.
Bill Hansen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a heck.
Bill Hansen was the former general manager during JOL's heyday.
Yes, and he gave me an opportunity to sell advertising, to be an engineer, and a jock. And I had a great time there. Great time. And I didn't get a pension.
You didn't get a... No, we don't get pensions in radio, do we?
Oh, well, I got a pension from JUCO, teaching.
Oh, there we go. Good.
I also taught at University of St. Francis and Lewis University.
You hit them all.
Well, I mean, JJC, of course,
That's
too.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's where I got the pension. And
Yeah. Did you realize when you were on the air that JOL would be around for 100 years?
I figured as much.
Yeah.
You missed an entire radio station that's not that old, though, that WJOL FM or WLLI.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
right.
it was a great new radio station with a lot of coverage.
That's right.
All of the Chicago area.
That's right.
And if I had been sharper with my advertising, I could have sold an awful lot. Because the size of your signal is what really determines what your possible outcome is. And anyway, what's this, another mic?
Another mic. You got it. Bill, I want to thank you so much for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me and to the history of JOL.
Thank you for inviting us, all of us.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're doing a good job.
William Christopher Joseph Drilling, star of the show. All right, we got a few more things to get to, and then we'll do the toast, and you guys can have some cake. Thanks for allowing us to do that. All right, sorry, I'm going to try to make this as brief as possible. Next up, WJOL is about the personalities, obviously with Bill and Frank and Don and Tony Ray. God, I miss Tony. Tony was an incredible guy. But at the end of the day, WJOL is about news department. When I first started, we had 5 people in the newsroom. Carl Wertzler, our general manager. Where are you, Carl? 5 people in our newsroom. Yeah, it's going back a few years. We're not going there again, are we, Carl? Something else. He won't end. I'm joking, of course. But no, we had a news department that was second to none. You see a couple of awards over here. We won much more than that. That's all I kept from when we moved from Walnut Street. So if you work for the WJOL News Department, can I please get you to come down here and stand right here in front of me? And do not come up here. You know who you are. Bob, let's go. Kevin, Janet, let's go. Monica, let's go. Isaac, let's go. Jeremy, where's Don Desart? Is Don here? I know Don's here. Evan, get up here. Allison. Is this it here? Real quick about each one. This was Kevin Haggerty. Kevin was with me late 90s when it was just you and me in the studio. And then we played really bad old people music for 21 hours a day. Music and Memories. Really bad move by Jim Hooker. Wherever you're at, Hooks. Horrible move, dude. Horrible move. Thanks to Dennis Mockler saved the radio station. Yes, he did. Jeremy Scott, brand new to the afternoon. Guy works harder than anybody, anywhere. He's amazing. Listen to him during Michael Van Camp and Robbins. Allison Bartell. Allison left radio and got smart and went to work for the casinos. Right? Allison was amazing. Late 90s, mid-90s. We had fun in the 90s. We can't even tell you how much fun. Allison? Tony Ray was out of control. Ladies and gentlemen, when I got there, we had, I think it was Bob Herrick was the news director, Randy Bunger was there, and then I meet this hotshot young guy right here, but with a mustache. It was a good mustache. It's gone now. Bob Eller was with us in mainly the 80s, right? Mid-80s to mid-90s, and then worked for Associated Press. He's been there for 25 years. I want to hear it for Bob Eller, please. Thank you for coming. I have not seen him in 30 years, probably. Janet Sutherland. Oh, God. I'm just going to move on. Monica. You remember the fun, right? We were all just out of college. And who do you hire when you get out of college? I'm sorry, who do you hire when you're a radio station? You hire us and pay us like 15 grand. So we're all 21, 22, 23, and we still, you didn't make 15 grand? I got 15 grand, so. They got paid. So anyway, Janet was amazing. She has been through so much with herself. She's one of the strongest women I've ever met in my entire life. And I'm so happy that she came back to share this night with us. Thank you very much. Evan Bredesen is here. Evan's been off on hiatus with us, but he's a big part of our music department and everything else. Isaac Sankin. Oh my God. I didn't know he was coming. I left him to his arms. Isaac, awesome. Isaac got smart and went to work for, a couple of them, right? Well, Lipinski, Dan Lipinski. He's but Isaac was so serious. Isaac was never just straight ahead. Not Les Nessman serious, that was Steve Brandy. Who's not here tonight, by the way, so we can make fun of him. Stop it. But Isaac was awesome, just a true professional. And last but not least, who's this here? Monica DeSantis. Oh, Canada. She came to me, I think it was October 1st, she said, Scott, I quit November 15th. I'm like, what? She goes, I quit, I'm leaving, I'm done, I'm sorry. I'm like, that's okay. But Monica was amazing for 14 years. She was with us early, and she went back to Chicago, came back with us, and she literally turned WJOL.com into a beast. We are the #1 website for all the Alpha Media stations out of 150 or whatever in some big cities. And this all started with this young lady right here. She's a bulldog, and I miss her. And rumor has it, when I go on vacation, she might start filling in for me on the morning show. So that would be cool. Guys, yes, that's true. You said yes, Kevin. She said yes. Guys, again, JOL is not, personalities, yes, but it's about these people. The news is what has driven WJOL for 100 years. One more round of applause, and you guys can go sit down. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Also, I'm not going to go through everyone, but we have so many people here tonight that have worked with us over the years, and I'm going to miss some. We have Ed and Michelle on the Friends Over 50 show for how many years now? 18? 16 years, thank you. They were the bus captains, but they're on every single, there they are, the bus captains, she's got her name. Every single Friday from 10 o'clock until 1 after Mary and Natalie. Thank you very much. We had a Saturday show for years called The Outsiders, and I never knew why they called themselves The Outsiders, and I think that was kind of a dig at me, which is cool. I dig that, I like that. But they didn't feel like they were part of the radio station, so they called themselves The Outsiders. We miss them very much. I think we have Brad, Stan, and who else is over there? Is Metal John here tonight? No, he's not. Stan and Brad. We're still here. Let's hear it for The Outsiders. You'll be hearing from them if we can. Hold on. I got it. Hey, it's my show, all right? I got it. I think the Outsiders are coming back in the fall, if you guys will come back for a month, right? You got it exactly right. All right, Mike Guglielmucci, Racers Forum, where are you, Googs? Mike and I did racing coverage all over the place, Racers Forum, 20 years. They did it for the last 5 or 6 weeks. It was great to hear the boys back. Bernie's not here tonight, but that was awesome. We have a couple of other folks. Did Samantha make it from Atona Vos? I don't believe she did, but we have Monica Vivian here. She hosted the Saturday Hispanic show. Where's Monica? There she is. Monica's like, Scott, we got to do a show, and she started to do it in Spanish, and I was like, you can't do it in Spanish, nobody's going to listen. But now she goes, yes, I'm going to do it in Spanish, so they did, and that was great. And I'd like to have you guys come back and do a little bit as well. All right, then we had, we mentioned a few of the other people. Then there's a buddy of mine. We have a group of people that go on trips with us called WTF, World Traveling Friends. We have been in probably, 20 countries? Maybe 15 countries, but it's been close. They're all over here as well. So let's all the WTFers over there. And then there's another guy that I want to mention. It was always weird having Dave on the show because Dave Margliano, where you at, Dave? You're over there. Let's hear it for Dave. Dave hosted the Outsiders, and then he protected Jim Glasgow from getting taken out by people. He was Jim Glasgow's bodyguard during the Drew Peterson era. So I got it. Right over there. So thanks, Dave. It was kind of weird you being on the radio and then protecting the life of Jim Glasgow. Now, WJOL's second love, and I'll wrap up here, is sports. Sports has driven this radio station. We lost sports for about a day back in 1999 when another radio company took us over, and they were going to cancel sports, they were going to cancel news. We had to fight for it. Do we have that proposal somewhere? I had to give a proposal to the new general manager to save sports. I mean, literally, he cut it off, and none of this, we wouldn't be here tonight if he didn't change his mind on that. Sports is so big in Joliet. News is important, yes. Sports is number 2, as far as I'm concerned. And we have an incredible sports team. We've had a high school baseball tournament for almost 20 years, a basketball tournament that'll turn 30 years old, girls basketball tournament that'll turn 7 years old, and a girls softball tournament that will turn 6 years old. Because we were doing the boys stuff, and we're like, we got to do the girls stuff also, and we did. It's awesome. Real proud. Yeah. So our sports team is second to none. We have an incredible group. My football guys are the best in the business. Friday nights, we sell out our sponsorships, and we go to these stadiums, and everyone listens. We have a texting club that we started up, and we literally have the best football crew anywhere in high school football. Most radio stations our size have stopped carrying sports. We're going to continue to do it just as long as sales sells it, which I know they will. You guys are awesome. Guys. We have Edgy Tim, Joe Radagale, Dave DeWire, and Evan also does a lot of sports for us. Guys, stand up here real quick, right? Okay. Yay, sports. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I think that's it. If you work for us and I didn't call your name, raise your hand. I don't want to forget anyone. Who? Who? Doug? I can't go through all. I've had 15 general managers. I'm not going to start going through them. Okay, who came the farthest tonight? Doug, this is your chance to shine. Doug Boyd, general manager, now in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, in all seriousness, I have had 15, I think 14 general managers. Carl, you're number 14. And I might like you the best. I might. We're heading in that direction. We're heading. Here comes Doug. Hey, you always like the best who it's the current one, okay? So anyway, I think I've been through 7 or 8 owners. I wish I would have worked for Mr. Hansen because there was profit sharing checks. Bob, you remember those, right? Big bucks, big bucks. We never had that. I started off with Bob Tezak as my first owner. You guys anybody understand that joke? Uno card games? Prison? No? Should I stop or not? You remember. The police remember. Yep. Okay, bowling alley? No, we're done? Okay. Bob, you remember. Okay, I'm wrapping up here. What's that? Yeah, we're going to do a group photo. So after we do a toast here in a second, we're going to then cut the cake. And then I'd like all the JOLers up here, please. But again, guys, this isn't about any one person. It's about one radio station. And I never thought in a million years I would come here and stay here for my whole career, and I have, and best decision I ever made. Met my wife here, Roxanne. Puts up with me being gone all the time, and yeah, I've met some incredible friends, and this town means so much. And like Terry said it, this town's full of love. It's got a big heart, and you guys turn to us every day. There's been a lot of craziness in the media, with social media, with newspapers dying, and with websites that are out there that just want clicks. Yeah, I love clicks too, but we try to get clicks the right way by good news stories, good solid news stories. And again, this station has almost went away a couple of times, and I don't hopefully think it's going anywhere now. We have another new owner. It's number 8, I think, for me. 7. I think it's 7 or 8 for me. Connoisseur Media, is that our new boss? Those are our new bosses. So I don't think anyone's here from Connoisseur tonight, but you will not be hearing Alpha Media anymore. It's now Connoisseur Media, which I guess is a compliment that people keep buying us, right? It means maybe they get a return on their investment. All right, guys, thank you. Please grab your champagne. I don't want to get emotional or anything like that. Let's have some fun. Really not much more to say. JOL would not be a radio station without you people listening or going to the website. So thank you, all my friends in here. I appreciate it. To another 100 years. All right, let's have some. It is a wonderful life, isn't it? Hold on 1 second. This is Brian Foster, our corporate manager.
Real quickly, I don't mean to keep the party from starting, but Scott just did a wonderful job laying out all of the on-air people that took this to the next level. It's not the most exciting thing to talk about sales and marketing, right? That's the business side of what we do, but it's absolutely critical because without these salespeople every day finding wonderful partners to partner with us, to support us, we don't have a business model continue. So not only do I want to thank each and every on-air person here, and we're surely not going to thank the entire sales staff. I simply couldn't let this end without one more shout out. And she knows who she is. She has been one hell of a protector of this radio station for decades. And without her leadership on the sales side, the side you don't always see, but without that leadership, there simply wouldn't be a business model to sustain the on-air product. So as we're raising our toast and our glasses and as we're eating our cake, please also join me in thanking Diane DeVries.
Thank you, Diane. Appreciate it. All right, have fun. If you work for WJOL Radio, part-time, full-time, please come back up here. We need a picture. And thank you very much. Thanks to Jess Beglin and the entire group for tonight's party. Jess, Allie, Shannon, Stacy, Abby, all of you guys. Thank you so much. Past and present, please come on up. There's food, there's drinks, and there's music.